I finally get my hands on a 2025 Kia Telluride. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, do me a huge favor, click that subscribe button down below for content like this and many more. For all your current subscribers, thank you for watching, for liking and sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. Now, what do I have next to me? This is the 2025 Kia Telluride. This is the SX-Prestige with the X Pro package. I'm gonna go over it, go over all the incredible features, the tech, and then we'll go for my final quick drive. And before I continue, I wanna give a big thank you to Kia for allowing me to have this vehicle in my home test area for the past week for me to review for you guys. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Stay tuned, that's coming up next. Let's talk 2025 Kia Telluride SX-Prestige. Let me zoom out a little bit there, give you guys a little bit more room. So there's a reason why this is one of the best-selling vehicles in its class. Why? Because of its value, because of its practicality, and good looks. I mean, look at it. It's a good-looking SUV. People absolutely love this thing, the way it looks. My tester is the SX-Prestige, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, that has full LED headlights and taillights, turn signals, LED fog lights, which are a rarity nowadays, in not only in SUVs, just in cars in general. They're slowly disappearing from the market. Does have a 360 camera right there in the grille and in each mirror. And this is what the key looks like. So you have lock, you have unlock, trunk release, and the panic button. And then here has the vehicle remote start, so you lock it first. And why is it not locking? Hold on a second, let me just lock it. Let me see. And I guess the mirrors are not folding, but that's okay. And it turns on the car. As you guys can see, it activates the mirrors, it activates the climate control if you leave it on, and so on, which is a good feature. And mirrors just folded in. Now, my tester is the top trim, so it has every single option, and is the SX-Prestige with the X Pro package. What that means is raised ground clearance, so 8.5 inches, all-terrain tires, which I'll go over in a second, and you got blacked out bits, increased towing, so 5,500 pounds of towing capacity, which is excellent, and it has rear self-leveling suspension. I'll go over in a second what that means and what that does. Now, let's start the beginning, the review up front. You have very bold and in charge grille back up here. It does have parking sensors all over the front and the rear as well. And it's a good looking XUV. Look at the bulge hood. I like that. You can actually see it when you're driving. I do love this color combination. Very nice. It sticks out, especially with the terracotta interior color, which we'll go over in a hot minute. The headlights are very detailed. I love all the intricate details, and there's a reason why Kia hasn't really gone crazy in changing it too much, because it's a good looking package, and there is a new one in the way for 2026. Kia's keeping a tight lip on details and what that's going to look like. There's a couple of spy mules out there being tested. Now, on the side here, we have these 18-inch wheels are wrapped in 245/60 Continental contact tires, all-terrain tires. So, which is nice. Decent amount of body cladding, not too crazy. The mirrors, like I mentioned earlier, power folding. The cameras, I do like this very subtle, kind of like copper accent around the window trim, which is not chrome. It's a little darked out, which is cool. You do have, of course, integrated roof rack, which is nice, standard roof rack. Now, talking about the rear self-leveling suspension, you might be wondering, why do we need that? Simple. If you have a car full of people and stuff, you don't want the car doing one of these. So if it does, the system will sense that, and it will automatically self-level itself and just keep it, riding and driving normal. And especially when you're towing stuff, that comes in very handy. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the cargo capability. of the Kia Telluride 2025. Stay tuned for that. We take a look at the cargo capability of the 2025 Kia Telluride. Let's talk about the rear end styling. Simple. The taillights are LED, just like the headlights. Very functional. LED taillight, brake light, incandescent reverse lights, and license plate bulb. Now, to get into the trunk is a real simple affair. A vehicle will detect the key like it's doing right now and it's blinking, and it will automatically open like so. You could turn that feature on and off in the information screen at front. And back here, with the third row seat folded, you have up to 46 cubic feet of cargo capability, which is absolutely massive. And plenty of room, obviously, if you buy this. If you don't need the third row seat, you can of course always keep them folded. Now, behind the third row seat, let me get in here and grab, you have up to 21 cubic feet of cargo capability, which is pretty competitive for its class. To fold them down, you just pull this tab, let them drop like so. Super easy and simple. No motorized anything here, which is not really needed. And that's when it jumps to 46. Now, let's say you want more, you can just press these two buttons right here on the side, and voila, these two guys drop for a massive 87 cubic feet of cargo capability. You can take this thing camping, leave the car running, and the climate control, and you can put a little inflatable bed here, and this will become your mini camper. Now, Kia gives you a couple of amenities in here as well to make that camping easy. You have a traditional house style outlet. So while you're camping, you can plug in a little TV or whatever and watch TV, your tablet, your devices. And moving on to the other side, you do have a traditional style, cigarette style outlet power capability there. So, and of course you got hooks and everything like that. Pretty cool. It does have a spare underneath the vehicle, and you do get a decent sized underfloor cubby. You can put things like that, and you can adjust this as well, like so. If you're carrying some weird awkward items, you don't want it rolling around, you can do that too, which is pretty cool. All right, let's step inside the 2025 Kia Telluride, and of course to close it, you just press this button here and walk away, and that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at the interior. Stay tuned for that. Inside the 2025 Kia Telluride. Simple. Put your hand in the door handle like so. Mirrors on lock. And let's talk about the fit and finish and luxury features in this vehicle. It is absolutely very good. You have soft padded door panels. Upper portion of the door panel is soft padded materials. You have imitation wood, and I gotta say, Kia did an excellent job, because you can even feel like it's open pore wood. My tester being the SX-Prestige X Pro does have Napa leather seats, which I'll go over in a second, but this is soft padded material here. You have, of course, your window controls and mirror and everything. Power folding mirrors, because it does have it, as you guys see it. Two driver memory settings, and a nice large speaker grill there for the Harman Kardon sound system. And decent sized pocket. You can put bottles and things of that nature. And now let's go over and talk about those seats. Those seats are finished in Napa leather. Yes, the stuff that the big boys get, the luxury vehicles get, it's in here. Of course, you have the X Pro embroidered here behind the seats. Very soft and very comfortable seats, I may add. And they're 14-way adjustable. And you have 4-way lumbar support. And you have a thigh extension which does one of those, which is pretty cool and very comfortable for long trips, of course. And yeah, let's continue in the interior. On the side here, you do have controls for your dimmer, to activate tow mode, downhill assist, open the trunk and turn off traction control. Excuse me, got tongue tied. In and on and off. And getting in here, it's a very nice place to be. Kia did an excellent job again with the fit and finish, and material quality and choices. Let me turn on the car here because it is toasty. And turn on the climate control while we're filming in here. And in front of you there is dual 12.3-inch displays. So this one is fully customizable to a certain extent. You can of course change different drive modes. Right now I have it set to comfort, but you could do sport, which changes the gauges to a sportier manner. Smart just keeps it like so. Then you have eco mode, and then you have snow mode, of course, for those cold weather climates. I traditionally been keeping it either in comfort mode or smart. Smart just will determine when you need power, when you're driving efficiently. It will automatically adjust itself based on the driver's input. Now, steering wheel is very nice and padded. It is leather wrapped. It is also heated. And talking about the controls here, on the left side of the wheel, you do have the voice command buttons, volume up and down. You have mute, you have mode, phone pick up and hang up, favorites button. This vehicle does have fully automatic headlights with automatic high beam. That's what that little A in the instrument cluster looks like. And on the right hand side of the vehicle, you do have the controls for your for your cruise control. And this little button here, you can cycle through different menus in the section portion of the instrument cluster. You have the speedometer there, auto start stop timer, which I guess you can adjust the length of the timer, driving range and fuel economy. The vehicle is rated for 23 highway, 18 city, and about 20 combined. I haven't had it too long, so the mileage may vary, of course, because of my week of testing it. And moving on to the center display, this does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is not wireless, it is wired, and you can connect it via this USB port right here. You do have USB-C charging capability. It does have a traditional traditional cigarette style outlet to charge your devices. It does have a wireless charging pad. Nice little rubber mat there. And if you don't want to see any of that, you could just press this little lid and just hide everything away and out of sight. I like the fact that it is a traditional shifter. Thank you, Kia, for giving us a traditional shifter. Very nice. And these are the controls here, like I mentioned, for the different drive modes, drive mode selector and stuff like that. This activates the turn off, the auto engine start stop, auto brake hold, emergency brake right here, parking sensors, and this activates the camera. So if you press this button, you will see that it turns on all the 360 camera. You can cycle through different views. So you can do a top-down view like so. If you're going to hook up a trailer, this comes in handy. It does have trajectory lines. And these are the side cameras, so you can see out the mirrors. This is just traditional backup camera. I normally just keep it on the front. Let's see, like so. That's the regular. And then this is the front one. And it enables this little 3D version of the Telluride. I believe you could change the color to match your own color of the vehicle, but it's pretty cool that it has that, and super helpful and convenient, and things like nature. This is the top-down view, which shows basically the whole car. Super useful. And moving on. Oh, and talking about cameras, there's one more camera, which is hello. this one. So if you flip this switch, that's what that camera in the spoiler we were talking about earlier has, a full camera, and you can of course see outside. And in case you have a bunch of people and stuff, you don't have to worry about, oh my god, please move your head because I can't see. That problem, it becomes non-existent. So here you can control the angle, as you guys can see. You can control the brightness. Super cool, super useful. And of course this has home blink built into the mirror. Super, very nice, super useful technology. My vehicle does have finish in suede. The headliner is in suede. There's a look at the decent sized sunroof. Not the biggest in the world, but it does have one, and it does open, which is one of two sunroofs. And the other one, if I can get my camera to pan, is right there. That's for the passenger. It doesn't open, but it does have a power shade. So passengers can be comfortable and see out the window, which is pretty cool. Super useful for to keep everybody entertained and have a nice view outside. And fit and finish, like I said, is very excellent. The seats are super bolstered, heavily bolstered, very comfortable. There is more of that faux wood material there. Vehicle also has ambient lighting, so it ambient lighting all around the center dashboard and right there in each of the door panels, all four doors. This vehicle also has dual zone climate control, and also has 3 zones. So if you press this part here in the rear, you can activate the rear zone, and then everybody is nice and happy. I do love the fact that there is physical controls here instead of everything buried in the screen. You have map, navigation, radio, media, track forward, backwards. You have your favorites button right here set up, and the system in itself is very easy to use, not too complicated. Everything's very well laid out, as you guys can see. And if you want to control your climate control on the screen, you still can, but there is no need to do that because, again, you can control everything right here. But you can still play with it anyway if you want to. Like I said, wired CarPlay Android Auto in this particular trim. Kia hasn't done that update yet to this Palisade. Telluride, not Palisade. That's its Korean sibling. And because there is a new one coming out, so a new one is coming out soon, and it's going to be a complete departure from this one. It's going to be bigger and all that stuff. This is the button for the heated steering wheel. Super nice. And if we move over to the center cubby, it's a decent sized cubby. You got another USB-C port right here. You can move this out of the way, and very deep, nice little well there. Super nice. Also nicely padded as well. And that's where the 2 cup holders for the rear passengers live for the center console. And that is pretty much it. Oh, and the lighting, everything in the lighting in the vehicle is LED. So you have LED lighting for everything in here. You can turn them off, all of them, or individually, or leave it with the door like so. And the vehicle also has, maybe difficult to pick up on camera, but I'll do my best. It does have a heads-up display, and you guys could probably see that little floating 0 right. The camera's trying to focus on my finger, but there it is, that little floating 0 right there. Let's try to get that on camera. There you go. Yeah, so that shows you turn-by-turn navigation and things of that nature. So it's pretty cool and useful technology. All right, let's jump into the back seats of the Kia Telluride. Stay tuned for that. Stepping into the back seats of the Kia Telluride, it's a very pleasant place to be, and materials are continue just like up front. You do have that more of that faux wood back here, and the vehicle does have, forgot to mention earlier, it does have ambient lighting, so you can control the colors. Nice built-in sunshade, super useful. I think every car should have this, no matter what trim it is. I think every car should have this standard, in my opinion. Same soft padded materials like up front. Here you have, because this is the SX Prestige trim, the controls for the heated and ventilated seats, which is nice. The windows are auto up and down, which is nice. The front ones are double pane glass as well. And the seats back here, very nice as well, just like the fronts. And also Napa leather seats, very soft. And you can, of course, if you want to fold them, you can use this lever here, and then you can fold it manually from here. Of course, just like I showed you guys in the back, you could do it from the back as well. And to unfold it, you have to see if I could do this with one hand. There you go. So I guess you press that button and it allows you to unfold it easily. All right, let's step inside. And this is a very nice place to be. Not too bad back here. There's a look at the very nice infotainment and companion view in the front. And back here, your kiddos and your passengers will be greeted to a very nice large pane glass. It doesn't open, but it does have a power shade, which I will demonstrate shortly what that looks like. And you guys can see, super nice. And you know, I'd rather have that than nothing and be in a cave. And that's a nice large glass plain roof. I mean plain glass sunroof. And the sides of each seats, Kia gives you USB-C ports, very large cup holders back here. You do have little pockets for both, which is nice. I like this little pocket here, so this probably you could use this for your devices, and a little bit of cable management. So when you're charging your devices, your cables are all over the place, you can just tidy up right here and then connect it to both sides. But you do also get more charging ports. You have a traditional cigarette style outlet port right here, and another household style outlet right there for all your devices. Super useful. Similar pocket, just like the passenger side. I mean, excuse me, just like the driver's side. Controls for the vents for the climate control system are roof mounted, so it's nice. So you can point it to you, and you can, of course, obviously control the airflow and everything like that. The controls for the third row climate control, excuse me, not third row, the 3-zone third row, getting tongue-tied. The secondary controls for the climate controls are roof mounted right here, so you can clear auto, fan speed. You do have giant LED lighting right here, which is nice. And that's pretty much it. Cup holders not in the middle. The center console, the center is clear. You can get a bench seat in lower trims, but this one you will only have a captain's chairs. All right, let's step into the back seat. I'll adjust this seat to my liking. Let's step in, excuse me, into the third row seat. Stay tuned for that. Getting into the third row seat is a very simple and easy affair. You can do it two ways. You can, of course, press this button here and this button here, and the seat just slides forward like so, and get in. You close the door, and then you can adjust the seat. And I'm 5'8" for context purposes, and I have plenty of leg room. Plenty of leg room right here. And if I spin the camera around, headroom is a little tight, but you can, there's a little lever and tab, you can recline the seat and then you gain a little bit more, but nonetheless, it's still not a penalty box to be back here. You do have vents right here and USB-C ports right here. You do have two cup holders right here. Not the end of the world to be back here. The seats are they're very nice. Little headrest Nice large opening windows, more of those vents. You see those vents, and here is that center seatbelt for essentially 3 people can sit back here. So it will be a tight fit, but anyways, and you got for their lighting, the button for the lighting. All right, let's take a look. Let's take this Kia Telluride for my first drive and final thoughts. And there's a view of what the third passenger will see. Oh, and I also want to add that these armrests are ratchet and adjustable, like so. You can, of course, adjust both of them, and you can have them there so you could be comfortable when you're sitting in the second row seats. All right, let's take this for a drive. And to get out of the third row, simple affair again. Just press the same button you did to get in. The seat slides forward. You can, of course, push it forward. And the door opens almost 90 degrees. And you can get out. And like so, and that's it. All right, let's take this Kia Telluride for a quick drive. Stay tuned for that. All right, I'm gonna try a little something different for you guys. Camera is behind me. Normally the camera is in the front. You guys let me know in the comment section if you like that. Let me turn off the rear AC. It is a bit warm. And this Telluride, it's a very, very good product. And both of them, both the Hyundai Palisade and the Telluride, which are basically twins at this point, they're good, both good vehicles. And it's nice to have a V6 engine, which does have a nice growl to it. Let me lower the fan speed here. That's a little better. All right, so the V6 engine does have a very nice growl to it. Suspension is not too bad. It's very soft. Partly I'm gonna say because this particular version, you have 18-inch wheels, and oh my God, I don't know what that truck is doing, because he's dropping a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna keep my distance from that thing because I don't know what he's dropping. But anyway, it's very comfortable. It's not, not too bad. MPG is okay, I guess. Let me see. I mean, I haven't driven the car too long in my week of testing, but I saw maybe 18 miles per gallon, which is not great. But then again, something this large, you should not expect good fuel economy. I mean, yes, you could put it, of course, in eco mode, and then your MPG, of course, may rise. Let me try that. Let's see what kind of MPGs we get. And changing the screen here, the little menu screen. All right, here we go. So current drive. All right, let's see what it can do MPG wise, and let's go into my usual highway loop that I do here, my home test area, which is in New York, and I will put it in smart mode and open it up a little bit. And here's where that blind spot camera comes in handy, because when you come in, you can immediately see who's in your blind spot or not. Again, perfection in terms of technology. I love that. And on paper, yeah, $291 may not sound like much, but then again, this is a family SUV. You're not racing anybody with this thing. I think the power is adequate. Torque is 262 pounds-feet of torque. This is an 8-speed automatic. You can drive it in manual mode right here, and shift it yourself. If you downshift here, RPMs will start kicking up. Of course, if you do want to drive it in a sporty manner, you can put it in sport mode, and you see the gauges immediately change and they get a little angry. And if I have to pass if you have to pass these cars, you have enough power and grunt to really get up and go. And I love the engine note, and you see it, the RPMs stay up waiting for you to, you know, do your thing. But anyway, this I'm first time driving it and living with this Telluride for the week. It's great. My little one, she keeps saying, "Daddy, I love this car. I love this car. Let's buy one," which is super, super cute. And she's turning into a car girl, which makes my heart happy, hearing her that she's into cars. But overall, this is a great family SUV. Yes, the competition, there's plenty of competitors out there. You know, you have things like the Chevy Traverse, you have the Honda Pilot, you have, of course, the Toyota Grand Highlander, which Toyota immediately went and updated the Highlander because the previous generation, which is still technically around, wasn't up to par in terms of this Kia Telluride. And people love it. In my week of testing, people have been giving me a lot of thumbs up. It is a very good looking SUV. If I had to buy one, I would not be terribly upset that I have to drive around in something like this to haul around my family. But I digress, sorry. Anyway, this has been my first quick look and review of the 2025 Kia Telluride SX-Prestige trim. Let me turn off in here, with the X Pro package. Thank you guys for watching and liking and sharing my videos. And price as tested is about $56,000 because it has pretty much every single option. There's really nothing else to get this. Base price about 36, which is front wheel drive only, and then you climb up the ladder and start paying for extra goodies. I think sweet spot will be the S or the EX, which is the middle trim with all-wheel drive, about $40,000, and you get a lot of niceties. Anyway, but thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care and stay safe.